This video I will discuss chapter number 9, sources and effects of heat energy, that is on page 129, and we will discuss the topic applications of expansion and contraction of solids. Here I will discuss two practical applications in everyday life that we see. First one is the fixing of a metal die over the wheel, and the second one is fixing of an axle into the wheel. So let's talk about the first one, fixing of a metal die over the wheel. Now in this method, the metal tire which are fixed over the wheel are slightly smaller when they are cold, and they are of wooden cards. Like in different wooden cards, the metal tires that you see, they are slightly smaller in size when they are cold. But on heating, that is thermal expansion, the metal tire expands and its diameter also increases. So as the diameter increases, it easily fits over the wheel. Now on cooling, thermal contraction, metal tires contract and fits over the wheel tightly. If we see this diagram here, first picture shows the cold metal tire here, second picture shows the wooden wheel, third one here you see hot metal tire is fixed over the wheel, and it is all due to thermal expansion. Now in the last one, stage D, on cooling, metal tire contracts and fits over the wheel tightly, and this is called thermal contraction. As you can see the difference on expansion, thermal expansion, the size of the wheel has increased, but on cooling the size of the wheel gets smaller, and this is showing thermal expansion, this is showing thermal contraction. Now let's talk about the other one. It's about fixing of axle into a wheel. Now the purpose why it is being used, this method is mostly used to fit in the axle of the train wheel. Now the method says that in this method contraction is used instead of thermal expansion. The diameter of the axle is slightly larger than the hub of the metal wheel. The axle is placed in the liquid nitrogen, which is at like below minus 196 degree centigrade temperature. So the axle cools and contracts, that is thermal contraction. It is then inserted into the hub of the wheel, and then it is allowed to come to room temperature. If you look at the diagram and follow it side by side, here the first step said in this method contraction is being used instead of thermal expansion, so the diameter of the axle is slightly larger than the hub of the metal wheel. So this picture is showing that before contraction you see the size of the this hub, it's slightly smaller. The axle is then placed in the liquid nitrogen, which is below minus 196 degree temperature. So after the contraction into liquid nitrogen, you can see the condition, this metal axle or this axle will easily fit into the hub of the wheel. Then the axle cools and contracts, that is called thermal contraction, and it is inserted into the hub of the wheel, and it is then allowed to come to the room temperature. Now at the room temperature, axle will further expand, thermal expansion, and it fits into the wheel tightly. You see here in the last picture, contracted axle fitted into the wheel, and the size of the axle as well is shown. So this is how this axle is being fitted into the wheel. Now after watching this video, you people have to write the notes related to the two practical applications that I have discussed with you today in your copies. Along with this, you have to write the descriptive questions that are on page 196. You have to mark them as well as you have to write them in the copy. Question number 3 is explain the descriptive explain the peculiar behavior of water during contraction and expansion, that is from page 133 134. So draw figure 9.21 and do activity 9.5. And then explain the damages which are caused by expansion or contraction by giving any two examples, that is on page 130 and 131. It starts from in our daily life till in summer. So you can write any two damages or effects caused by thermal expansion and contraction. Question number 5 is describe the effects of expansion and contraction of solids. So answer is on page given on the page number 130 to page 132 in our daily life and till without cracking. In this question number 5, you have to write all the effects that are given on these pages. along with the diagrams. So diagrams should be drawn on the blank page and notes should be written on the lined page. Thank you.